Hi, the purpose of this video is to talk about observation and inference and make sure we understand how to tell them apart, something very important for science. So we know that science is driven by our natural curiosity and it's rooted in the observations that we make as being curious people. That's why it's often shown as the first part of the scientific method, even though we do observations in other parts of the scientific method. So, for example, you might make an observation that, wow, the flowers seem to grow better in different parts of the yard. That, of course, would lead to you formulating a question as to why, and that would drive the scientific method. You may eventually find out an answer through some research or experimentation, and that is really what science is all about. But let's get back to observations and inference. What is an observation? We might define it this way. An observation is made when we gather information using our five senses: taste, hearing, touch, sight, and smell. So, for example, we might observe with our nose that the dog kind of has a bad odor, and then we could conclude that the dog really needs a bath right now. But not only would we use our five senses, often our senses are aided with an instrument, so we enhance our senses with instruments so that we can see or hear things that we otherwise couldn't hear. For example, we can't feel most of the vibrations that are occurring all the time in the earth, but a seismometer allows a geologist to observe vibrations in the earth. A doctor uses a stethoscope to observe a child's heartbeat, which you otherwise would not be able to hear from even a few inches away. And you can use a microscope to observe cytoplasmic streaming in allodia. Are you wondering what that is? We might actually look at this later this year in our science class. Here we're looking at these rectangular allodia cells. Allodia is a plant, and the green chloroplasts are moving around, streaming through the cytoplasm of that plant. Pretty cool, right? If done carefully, observations are reliable. In fact, we would say they have a high degree of certainty, so we can feel very confident in our observations. But we have to be careful. For example, looking at this picture, if you say the pencil is in water or the pencil is broken, those are not good observations. Saying the pencil is in water, you are making an assumption that the liquid in the glass is water, and saying the pencil is broken is just wrong because it's not. You're just looking at the refraction of light as it passes from one medium, air, to another medium. In this case, it is water. So these are not good observations. They're actually inferences. To better understand what inferences are, let's define them. What is an inference? An inference is a judgment based on evidence, reasoning, and experience. We make these all the time. Looking at this picture, you have enough reasoning and experience to probably tell yourself right now, the child did not want chocolate ice cream. And that's why they have that expression on their face. But that might not be the reason for their expression, right? Or you look and see a whole bunch of sharks at the bottom of the pier, and you might think, wow, somebody threw a lot of their fish parts from when they were fishing down into the water there. But the sharks could be there for a different reason. Or when you look at this swimmer, are you thinking the swimmer just got some bad news? Was she disqualified? Did she not like her time? Well, her expression could be for a different reason. So there's judgment when we make an inference. Because of that, inferences have less certainty and reliability than observations. Look at this picture. You might think to yourself, the man could not fit his bike all the way into his boat. But that's incorrect, because in this case, what actually happened is the man has invented a really cool combination bike and boat. So in essence, observations and inferences are both really important science. If we make really poor observations, our scientific method has a bad foundation. But if we make good observations, then our scientific method has a good foundation. That's all. See you next time.